Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
Pair of panties.
The juice is loose.
Doesn't matter. Nothing matters, no.
Maybe you got off on the wrong foot because what were you doing in the produce section?
I was trying fruit on.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Yeah! Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 29th day of April 2024. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. And by the way, we got a lot to talk about. The NFL draft is over. The first round of the Wolves series is over. We swept who? We did what? Lots of good stuff. Let's get her started. Here's Jerry Seinfeld with some comedy. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
When you're in your 60s, people ask you to do something, you just say no. No reason, no excuse, no explanation. I can't wait for my 70s. I don't even think I'll answer. I like this time. It's relaxing. I don't want to grow. I don't want to change. I don't want to improve at anything. I don't want to expand my interests, meet anyone, or learn anything I don't already know. I don't lie in restaurants anymore. How is everything? I don't like it here. A lot of people around my age like to make a bucket list. I made a bucket list, and I turned the B to an F, and I was done with that too. I just want you to have that option. You can either check off all your items or change one letter at the top. You're in a lazy boy watching a ball game.
Oh, good.
Finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. It's Monday, April 29th. Your Timberwolves are moving on to round two, sweeping Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns.
That's so sweepy.
There's only one winner, and it's not Phoenix.
Let me tell you something, Corey. If a month ago you had said to me, in your lifetime, will the Wolves ever sweep a series in the playoffs? I would have taken the no in a big way. Even with this team being as good as they are,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that about a win in the first round. But you asked me about sweeping somebody, I would have said never.
They were underdogs in the series.
Sometimes the underdog comes through, Corey.
Isn't that crazy? Whoops. Vegas got that one wrong.
Yeah, there were people that work here on the air that said they'd be swept.
Way to go, Vegas.
Yeah, way to go, Vegas.
I know, they're always losing.
That was sweet.
Right, there's all those commercials that are running during the playoffs about playoff mode and whether playoff mode is a thing.
Yeah.
Playoff Ant is next level. What a freak.
It's incredible.
Fun to
man.
watch.
Do you remember when the Wolves won the lottery that year?
Yeah.
And I think justifiably at the time, it just hasn't held up. There were people going, oh, God, of course we win a year where there's no, generational player, right? It's not LeBron or Wemby or something. We just have to pick from the best of the lousiest of the best. There wasn't a clear-cut hole in one kind of just slam dunk. Sweet, we get Ant. It was
They
just
sucks.
Who are we taking? Oh man, I mean, I guess it's this kid from Georgia or LaMelo Ball or something. What
Does
are we
he
going to
even
do?
like basketball?
Right, it was just we won the draft in the worst year.
Yeah, and it was 2020. The whole thing was falling apart.
And now you look back and go, Jesus, that's a nice little cap though on the weekend of the NFL draft. Right, the Wolves won the lottery and drafted a guy that we thought, well, we just maybe didn't have the right year to have the number one pick. Now we have a top 5-ish player and a guy who is probably headed for the Hall of Fame. It's not even remotely insane to say that he is on an easy Hall of Fame trajectory.
Great one, Core.
Thank you. I worked on that joke all weekend long.
You stuck the landing.
You just never know, right? The Vikings draft might be awesome. It might be terrible. We thought that the Ant pick was just kind of oh, God. and now he's just kicking his idol's ass.
Yeah, swept him.
Swept him.
He scored 40 points last night, and he only had 9 in the first quarter.
First half.
No.
Oh, was it the first half?
First
I thought
half.
it was the first quarter. But yeah, it was dominant.
Sauce loves him so much he got a tattoo of ants.
Sack.
Ouch.
Winkle.
No more complaining about Devin Booker complaining.
Man,
We'll miss him.
he complains a lot.
Yeah.
There he goes. He's leaving.
Is Fred Norris sitting in for talk today?
Man, I stayed up and watched that trash.
Man.
That game
So
went
did I.
late.
So did I. Well, they had 1,000 fouls. It took forever.
Man. That's a lot of fouls.
Honestly, that would have
lot of
been
birds.
Yeah.
that would have been your nightmare, Chris. The game stopped every 10 seconds.
Yes.
That game was the most unwatchable of the four outside of Ant in the second half, just
Correct.
dominating. But in terms of the flow, it was so boring. Foul, 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 more free throws, more complaining. Ugh,
Here's Rusty Finch.
no kidding.
Yeah.
How about that?
How does that not happen more often? I mean, so
Right.
Mike Conley with 1:41 to go crushes, accidentally, of course,
Yeah.
crushes Chris Finch on the sidelines, collapsing him, slamming into his knee, ruptured patellar tendon
Yeah.
for Chris Finch.
I love that act in Vegas. It's
Yeah.
very good.
So his availability for round 2 in question.
Yeah.
Looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
It did look like he hurt.
OF the
He sure-
second it
he sure
happened.
did.
Yeah.
No, the Wolves don't play for about a week, so whatever's wrong with him, put him in a brace and sit his ass back on the court.
DL? Is he on the reported list of injuries?
Reported list of injuries.
Reported list of injuries.
I mean, probably. I mean, when?
Ouch.
Do we know
Lose.
when they might play again?
It's about a week.
Yeah.
Because they have to wait for Denver and L.A.
Oh, I just
and then
watched it happen.
Now we need LA to win.
Boy, they took him off like.
oh yeah, they took him off.
It's a serious injury.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like he's going to need rehab. Like,
Oh man,
It's
is he
a-
an alcoholic?
well, that too.
you know what though? Like
If you give your own rim shot,
Whoa.
Hey, listen, if I
It's
could,
very fun.
yeah, if he could, he would.
the guy should be a warrior. There's 1:41 to
But
go.
it's a Timberwolf.
Yeah,
Be a
brilliant.
warrior. Sit on the bench. Coach from the bench. This is the playoffs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on, Finch. No wonder you didn't win Coach of the Year.
You don't need that leg.
Mark Daigneault, or however
my.
the hell you say his name, from
No.
Oklahoma City. He would have ruptured his patellar and sat on the bench for 1:41.
Get over here.
An overreaction.
You're joking about severed legs.
That did look like it hurt.
Yeah,
man.
looked like it hurt terribly.
Who's that guy who got Paul Pierce? Who was it? Got carried off and then came right back.
Yeah, he got wheelchaired back
Yeah.
and then
What was
ran back onto the court. And the theory was that he crapped his pants
Yeah.
or something.
That's right.
Yeah,
Like Bobby Hurley.
yeah.
Man, it does hurt when you hurt your knee. I bet Finchy crapped a little.
Yeah. I mean, and he was pinned between all those people standing on the sidelines. It wasn't good.
They pinned him.
Yeah, that's why his knee couldn't give out. That sucked. But they won.
Domination, man.
Domination.
First team through to round 2, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Let's go. Look at you guys. Nobody
Who would have
believed.
thunk?
Who'd have thunk it?
A lot of the people who did we've talked about it over the years. Which Minnesota men's professional team is going to win a championship first. A lot of people would have put them last
No doubt.
up until maybe a couple years ago, and now they're just.
Well, we won the draft lottery in a year that it didn't look like you wanted to win it.
Right.
But it worked out.
And
Man,
they took-
Ants just...
He's the best.
Did you catch any of the TNT post game?
Yeah, of course.
Man, just like Stephen A. Smith and Michael Wilbon a week ago, were trying to say he reminds me of Michael Jordan, but they don't want to say it because they're nervous about getting basically nominated for preposterous statement. Man, Shaq and Barkley and Kenny Smith and Ernie, they're all dancing around it. They're all like, this is... What do we have here? They all want to say that this is like the next Kobe or Jordan. They just can't quite pull the trigger yet, but you can feel it that they want to just say it, that he has the same look, same killer mentality,
The same fadeaway.
same takeover ability.
Yeah.
Man, he played like an absolute beast in the second half.
He's the best player they've ever had, and I'll stand by it. He's the best player the Wolves have ever had.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, hey, Zach. You drank pretty quick there.
Ben.
He's so good.
Well, maybe that's what the Wolves are doing. Maybe they won't put a statue of Kevin Garnett, not because KG and Glenn Taylor hate each other. Maybe they're just saving that space for Ant.
Yeah, I mean, he dominated. And even Cat last night played really well. In the first quarter,
Rudy played like ass.
Yeah, Rudy played really, but they still won.
That run over hurt his knee.
That's no.
You're thinking of Chris Finch.
Oh, whatever.
Rudy is a player, not the coach. You're probably thinking of Rudy Tomjanovich.
I forgot about this guy yelling. Didn't that guy say he was going to blow COVID away? Yep.
Good for COVID.
Zach, what's your least favorite sound?
Oh, yuck.
That's up there.
Oh.
What's your favorite sound?
Wow.
Thanks, Don Rickles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
This is just uncharted territory. It's
Yeah.
like, what is this? What are we doing here?
Now we wait. Normally it's like
COVID-19!
Yeah. Was that 4 years ago today?
This month, but not today.
Yeah.
Not this month.
And that guy.
I love your eyes.
Oh, thanks.
That guy's so weird.
I love your eyes.
Yeah, he's the devil.
Yeah, he is.
I don't care. Write your letters and send them to
correct.
Corey Cove. He's
That
the
guy's
devil.
terrible. And then the guy standing next to him is just going along with his nonsense.
Yeah, because he get the checks in the mail, baby.
Right, correct. Yeah.
Am I right?
Weren't they at one?
Oh, man, am I a woman?
What a great scene. Yeah. It's great. They swept. They get some rest. Their coach can get better. They have one of the best players in the league on their team. It's awesome. And now we get more basketball.
You're a bit deaf, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I don't know what you said, but I'm sure I'm that.
You already asked me that.
No, I didn't.
Well done.
Thanks.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm all pumped up. You guys don't seem to know.
I don't know how to react to this.
Yeah, I can
What
tell.
is this?
Yeah, I can
Right.
tell.
I mean, Corey
We're
went
winners? Question mark?
Corey went to games where there would be 15 people there on a Friday night. They won 15 games the year. Wasn't it 15 or 16 the year they drafted Cat?
Maybe, but again, let's just go back to
Cat?
for guys like Max and Zach. This is their first playoff series win in 20 years. Right. Their entire adult lives and most of their sports viewing lives. This is uncharted territory. It's like watching a Twins playoff win. These guys aren't used to this.
Correct.
It feels weird. I don't know how to react to it, and I don't trust it. And that's a problem because I want to be happy, and I was happy for the most part. But this morning, I'm like, oh, boy. We got to...
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were
We got to do
nervous.
this all over again, like 3 more. How do people actually handle these championship runs?
Thanks, Sam.
Those were the wrong people to ask.
Denver is going to be an absolute mountain to climb.
Yeah,
but they
Denver.
split the season series 2 games apiece.
Cradle his backside.
If they can beat Denver, they absolutely could beat Oklahoma City. They could beat Boston.
Yeah, they
Could
could.
you
yeah.
see
Did you
it?
see it?
Sauce, this is exactly like you and me in round 2 of the Program Password Invitational. If
Right.
we can get past Charch and Swedberg, we can win the whole thing.
Touch it.
The finals might be in round 2.
Yeah, we will win the whole thing if we get past those 2.
The Wolves might win the whole thing if
Right.
they can get past.
Yeah, now, what are
Denver.
they, plus 400 now to win the West? I think I saw last night. That's sweet.
Oh, good.
That is sweet. How many first-round exits did this team have in a row? 7?
Something like that.
That's
Touch it.
horrible. But here we are, man.
Touch
We
it.
don't have to worry about that anymore. And as Finchy said over the weekend when someone asked him, what do you think of the past, and all this that goes on with the Timberwolves have had in their
He
past?
said, ow, my knee hurts.
And he basically said, I don't care about that. And he said, my knee hurts.
No, this was last week when they asked him. He said, my
Touch
knees
it.
feel great. I can't see that changing anytime
Right,
soon.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's not a great, predictor or prognosticator, but he is a pretty good coach. Finished 3rd
Yeah.
in the NBA Coach of the Year voting. Only got 1 first place vote.
Coach Finch,
1.
what would you not like us to do to your knee?
Touch it.
Oh, all right. We won't.
Speak for
Tether a dick.
yourself.
Why are you going to touch his knee?
Tether a dick.
Oh, I remember that word.
Why?
Sack Bart.
What?
Skidgy cock. Tit tyrant. This is fault.
What? Piss's fault?
Yeah, I'm deleting some things, as you can tell.
Okay.
Doing a little on air.
Did you guys see last night Tommy missed his flight?
Yeah, that looked like an accident.
Yep, correct.
Wasn't this supposed to be a big Monday meeting?
Yeah, that he was flying the red eye for the Monday meeting, and he missed his
He
flight.
had to go by urgent care because he had a case of
skidgy cock.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Taste the rainbow.
Hard to call into your work on Monday and lie about why you're missing work when you publicly told everybody on Thursday you were going to rage for 72 hours straight.
Yeah.
And purposely take the red eye.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's what you might want to do so that you actually do catch your next flight, Tommy.
Tether a dick.
Yours in particular.
Just hook it up to the first class and call it a day.
Yeah.
And Hawk's right. That was 100% on purpose.
What?
Yep. Oh, no. We didn't get to the airport.
As he's at the Harrah's outdoor bar, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
We're not going to get to the gate on time.
Well, there were no Ubers.
Imagine that call.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, why aren't you coming home? Oh, we missed the flight.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Ant scored 40 and the Wolves won against the Phoenix Suns. They're moving on 122-116, a sweep. First time they've ever won 4 straight playoff games. First time they've ever swept a series. Which those two almost always go together, but of course not mathematically always.
This is rigged. This whole thing is rigged today.
First playoff win in 20 years.
Look at that.
More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
For him. So I asked him, where does a guy begin? He laughed out loud.
The Power Hour, weekdays at 8 a.m. It's all thanks to Quantum Fiber. KFAN.com/watch is where you can find it. Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. On a Monday, it's April 29th. Look at that. And you may be asking yourself, what's trending?
What's trending?
Yeah, here's what's trending. The home run sausage. That's what's trending. You guys know what the home run sausage is?
Yeah.
Here's what's trending.
Kyle Farmer brought in you get like the big
Summer sausage.
Summer sausage.
Yeah, and it's bringing him a lot of
And
runs.
it's bringing him a lot of home runs.
Right,
yeah.
Rocco?
It's a summer tangy sausage is what it is. I actually looked at the package yesterday. It's bringing us a lot of hits and runs and stuff. So I'm all for it. I mean, for anyone that hasn't been following, it's a substantial packaged, sausage that Jeffers has been carrying around in his bag and throwing at people when we score runs and hit homers. So I'm all for it. I'm slightly concerned as I'm not even an adult, but slightly concerned as more of an adult than maybe some of the people in the other room, that the package is going to open up and the thing hasn't been refrigerated in many days. And there's no doubt that when that thing opens up, whoever's touching it is in deep trouble.
God.
Yuck.
Have fun. It's baseball,
Right,
for God's sake.
yeah.
You're playing a kid's sport and getting
Yeah.
paid. Go have fun. It'll make
Right.
things better, right?
Right.
Yeah!
Touch it.
No, don't touch it.
please don't.
Don't
Yeah.
touch it. I mean, no.
Summer sausage whales, right, Hawk?
No.
You don't eat that?
Nope.
Oh.
What season of sausage do you like the most?
Winter. I like winter sausage. I like it to be frozen.
Zach?
What's the difference?
Summer sausage is deer meat.
Oh, I didn't. Oh.
It's
yeah.
warmer, less snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really don't know what seasons are?
No.
It's the time of the season for love.
Great song.
The sausage, Corey.
No.
Okay.
No.
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 Calm down, Zach.
No.
Oh.
No. No.
Zach, why don't you bring some summer sausage to France?
Ooh, I could.
Kids going to
Not.
France today.
I know.
Sounds like we're making
They're
that up.
very
You're going to
much
France.
anti bringing meat, and I looked it up because I was trying to figure out if I could bring a can of SpaghettiOs over, which I think I can.
That's true, because I heard a couple of weeks ago Kelly traveled to Paris with no meat as well.
Oh.
Or at least not enough.
That don't seem right.
That's not entirely accurate.
What are you doing in France?
Yeah, we're doing recording multiple Minnesota military radio shows that will air in June on the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And so, we'll be walking Omaha Beach in a few days and going to the American National Cemetery.
You say we? Do you mean the royal we?
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's a great crew. We got Doug Wortham, who's an awesome dude. He's
I love his
hosting,
originals.
Doug Rhythm?
Kevin Olson and
Some Wortham originals right over here.
some other folks. So people we're going to meet out there, some really fascinating individuals. So looking forward to it.
And how long are you on?
Here till Friday, or there till Friday. And then
It's a quick turnaround.
I land at 12 there. The rest of them are going to be there for a while longer. I had to come back because I'm at a wedding. My buddy Kevin's getting married on Saturday. I land at 12:30 in the morning. I'm in the wedding, and we're going to have a very interesting weekend, to say the least.
Living the life.
Who's getting married?
Man,
My buddy
traveling to
Kevin.
France.
Nobody asked you, Kevin!
Look at you. Coming back early for some dude named Kevin.
That's kind of you.
That's great.
Starts a crazy month of travel.
Well, you're living the life, Zacho.
Yeah.
Look
Live
at you.
the life.
Living the life.
What song was
Max,
that?
where are you going?
Uh,
Target Center?
yeah, I guess. I mean, not even there for a little bit because the Wolves are going to be going to Denver here pretty soon.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Like, that was potentially it's going to probably be that case. There's going to be a 2-3 week break between home games for the Wolves, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah, it could be. It depends on how long that Denver series lasts, too. Well, and the
Hopefully
Clippers and Dallas
long.
series as well.
Hey, by the way, Finchie tore his patellar tendon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what he ended up doing. That's the official diagnosis.
Ugh.
Yeah, you could tell that he knew right away that something bad happened.
America.
Yeah, the F word definitely factored in. Where I'm like, this dude tore his ACL or something. You could tell immediately that was not just, my knee hurts. That was a significant injury.
Rosie on the sidelines laughing.
Rosie.
Yeah, he pissed himself. That's why he slipped on Rosie's pee.
Rosie's patella tendon's like a rope. He ain't going to tear that son of a bitch.
Here's what's trending.
Here's what's trending. Oklahoma tornado.
Ugh.
Did you guys see that footage of those tornadoes?
Man.
Yeah.
Sons of
Unreal weekend of weather. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's a huge bitch.
right.
Is your hometown now I know where Oklahoma is, but were tornadoes big when you were a kid? Like
Yeah.
in that area, I mean?
Sure, yeah. We live, my hometown is directly in the old, what do they call it? Tornado Central.
Alley?
Yeah, it's at Tornado Alley.
Here's what's trending.
Tank Dell.
He was part of a shooting.
He got shot.
Yeah.
Houston Texans wide receiver wounded in Florida. Just a minor shooting. But I would say any bullet entering your body is less than minor.
There was a 16-year-old suspect.
Jesus.
Here's what's trending.
Candace Parker.
Oh, yeah, she retired.
She did. What?
Retired.
16 years?
Yeah, one of the GOATs for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't she just win a championship with Chicago?
With the Aces,
No.
I believe.
Here's what's trending.
The Minnesota Vikings have a new kicker.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We sure do. 6th rounder out of Alabama. How do you say his last name? Is it Reichard?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Will Reichard?
Him being a 6th round pick means he'll be the kicker, right? I mean, getting picked as a kicker in the 6th round is like, a quarterback getting picked in the first 2 rounds. You're most likely going to play, right?
Well,
I don't think we have any other ones on our roster, do we?
Yeah, we brought that one kid in from the XFL.
That Hawk loves,
yeah, that's
right?
Great kicker.
Yeah.
Great kicker.
So historically, if you draft a kicker, if you're the Vikings in like rounds 5 or 6, like when you drafted Daniel Carlson in round 5, you normally give him the starting job and then let him kick for about 3 games and then cut him.
Yeah, you got to cut him.
So I believe that Will Reichard will be the kicker for at least September.
You got to cut a bitch.
Then you cut that bitch. And then you send him off to a different team where he'll have a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Hall of Fame at least, yeah.
Yep.
Man, How did we cut Daniel Carlson after about 2 cups of coffee?
You got to cut a bitch.
Who's the Max? Help me out here. Who's the kicker in Baltimore?
Tucker.
He's the highest paid in the NFL, right?
And statistically the best kicker
Isn't
of all
Daniel
time.
Carlson
basically.
close? Isn't he the second highest paid kicker?
He's got to be close.
No.
Oh, sorry, Daddy.
It's one of those ultimate examples of you can't listen to the fans. Because obviously almost every fan out there was like, cut him because
I think this is a good
Green Bay
example.
game.
You can't listen to Zimmer.
Yeah.
Zimmer was the one that wanted him gone.
They thought that was a Super Bowl team.
Somebody had to pay. You know what I mean? Like if something bad happens, somebody had to pay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Daniel
That's how it
Carlson was the
man.
guy.
Yeah, and he was the guy that day.
But if you're Rick Spielman and you scouted him and drafted him and you thought he was the next big thing, then you got to tell your coach, you're not the boss. He's staying on the team.
We're not getting rid of him.
I just picked him in the 5th round.
What?
Yeah, correct. Can't believe they just moved on from him. Unbelievable.
Yep.
And now he's a stud.
Tickets for home games 1, 2, and 3 of round 2 go on sale at 11 a.m. on May 1st. Get ready, Timberwolves fans.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk about it after this. Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
Feel your next adventure with rancher-owned Icon Meat Snack with options of bison, elk, and venison, including snack sticks, steak strips, and summer sausage. There are plenty of options for everyone to enjoy. Grab some today at your local convenience store or select travel centers.
Touch it.
Zach, you should probably put a pause in between snack and sticks.
Yeah.
Snack sticks.
Whoa.
Snack sticks.
That's better. Yep. All right, let's do front page sports because there's a lot of cool things to talk about.
Hell yeah,
Time
man.
now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Presented by Holiday Station Stores. You can buy 2 Mountain Dews and get 2 free. That's right, buy 2, get 2 free. Mountain Dews, 20 ounces at Holiday. Mountain Dew tastes better with Holiday. Limited time only at Holiday. Get the Mountain Dews this morning. Buy 2, get 2. The Minnesota Timberwolves are moving on to round 2. They are the first team in the NBA to move on to 4-game sweep. They went in as series underdogs, slight series underdogs to the Phoenix Suns because the Suns beat us by double digits all 3 regular season games by 19 points, 18 points, and 10 points. It just looked like a terrible matchup. But what we learned is they have 3 players, 4 with Grayson Allen when he plays, and that's it. I mean, it's just their depth killed them. And last night, Booker was unstoppable, even though he complained and got every call. Booker was unstoppable. Durant was Kevin Durant. And Beal was terrible, right? So if you only get 2 out of 3 to play, they can't stay with us. They were lucky that they stayed as close as they did for as long as they did. The Wolves played pretty bad most of the game. The second half, clearly Ant took over, and we had moments where Cat was brilliant. We had moments where a wolf here or a wolf there would do something well. But overall,
they're a wolf.
Man, that first half, first quarter,
They shot 20%.
23%.
They were like 1 of 8 or something like that from behind the line.
And we're right behind the Suns the whole time. It was just, all right, we're playing like ass.
Touch it.
And they can't pull away from us because they're terrible.
Yeah, and all the free throws the Wolves shot in the first quarter helped a ton. But as you said, Cor, at one point, I think it was the fourth quarter, Booker sat out for like a minute. What? And then Vogel was like, I have to put you back in because we don't have a point guard, somebody who can move the ball like you.
Beal had just picked up another foul because he couldn't stay out of foul trouble. And he played awful.
He was awful. It looked like he didn't want to be there, part of it.
He got so pissed at the end.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen somebody do that in a while. He gets that 6th foul. That was a questionable call. Ant just kind of stepped on Beal's foot.
Officiating was terrible.
Officiating was terrible both ways. They just were unbelievably inconsistent. Sometimes it would be just if you even gently touched somebody's arm, it was a foul. Then other times people were getting absolutely mauled and there was no call. I thought the flow was just terrible last night. But anyway, so Beal gets that 6th foul and immediately sprints to the bench, sits down, and then buries his head in the seat cushion.
Yeah.
Just like, what? It's like, dude, you're making $50 million a year. You got to play better.
And then
maybe you should leave.
Maybe you should leave.
Big Perk after the game, Maxwell said they were maybe the biggest disappointment in NBA history.
Yeah, I mean, they had super high
overstating.
expectations. I'm assuming when they formed that big three, they thought they'd be contending for a title, and then they get bounced embarrassingly. Getting booed on their own home court by the Phoenix fans and by the Timberwolves. So, yeah, they're super disappointing, and there's not a whole lot of places for the Suns to go from here. They pretty much have to trade Kevin Durant more than likely.
You think so?
Yeah, they can't get any better. They have no cap space. They have
no picks.
They have no nothing.
Chris, you don't care about this, but how about this? The Phoenix Suns have no first round picks through 2030.
Wow.
That doesn't even sound like a real year.
No.
Right.
They don't have any first rounders for the next 5 years.
To me, it seems
It was a crazy game of poker.
I think they're gonna trade Kevin Durant back to the Thunder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The story writes itself. The Thunder have, 500,000 first round picks over the next 5-6 years. So I could see it happening. Honestly, I could see Kevin Durant going back to the
they'd
Thunder.
have to move one of their pieces though with it though.
OKC?
Yeah, right? To make the salary cap work?
Maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't think any of those guys have like super crazy massive contracts. I don't know. Shea probably does, but aside from him, I don't think any of them have like the crazy contracts. I think it could work.
Yeah. Chris Finch got crushed by Mike Conley with 1:41 to go in the fourth on the sidelines. Left the game with a ruptured patellar tendon. So Mike Inori took over the final 1:41.
Who did great, by the way.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Handled that presser like a pro. I mean, that was
He's funny too, man.
Oh yeah,
We should have him on
he's a
again.
great media quote. He's on the TV pregame. He's on the radio pregame. Every game, he's the best.
He is the best.
So the Wolves now face the winner of Denver and the Lakers. The Denver Nuggets are up 3-1.
So are we talking, and I know you said about a week, so do we think game one will be next Sunday?
Well, no, it depends on, if the Nuggets win game 5, probably, sure. But if it goes more than that, then we could be talking a full week and a half plus.
Well, and they can't start until the Clippers-Mavericks series is done as well. So
that one's tied at 2.
Yeah.
You take all the rest you can, right?
Absolutely. That's why yesterday was even a little bit more important to just get that extra day of rest, especially because they're going on the road into the altitude and everything.
Yeah, and you do not want that coming back here, just because then it's like,
right.
Oh boy,
yeah, just put them out of their misery.
Right.
Exactly 15 days ago, Sauce tweeted, "What an embarrassing statement for the Wolves. They will lose in the first round."
I don't stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
I don't know. I do.
That was 15 days ago.
Yeah, I was way wrong.
It's okay, Saucy.
Well,
somebody on this radio station, not currently here, said they'd be swept. So,
why can't you just say who is it?
It was PA. PA said they'd be swept.
He did?
On the air?
By the Suns.
On the air, yeah.
Oh,
Why'd you do that?
And he was serious
joking?
or he was kidding? He was serious.
He was serious.
Doesn't sound like PA.
Right.
Hello.
He watches a lot of basketball.
How early do you go to Denver to acclimate? Do you take advantage of this?
Today.
Yeah.
I think they're there now, right, Hawk?
Are you serious?
No. I don't know.
Hello.
Hey, Randy.
Touch it.
Friday? Right?
Hello.
Could I see them showing up tomorrow? Maybe.
Hell yeah!
Do you maybe show up Wednesday afternoonish? Possibly Thursday? Do you see them maybe landing Friday?
Well, I can confirm that the Wolves and a Denver area hotel have had dialogue. So they have talked.
The Vikings and, of course, the NFL draft wrapped up over the weekend. The Vikings selected 7 players. Would you like to hear their names? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback, Michigan. Dallas Turner, edge rusher out of Alabama. Those were the round 1 picks.
Hello.
Then they did end up
Randy.
taking Friday completely off, which, again, they weren't slated to select in rounds 2 or 3. But hey, maybe they move up. Maybe they do something crazy. They didn't. They stayed put. In the 4th round, they took Kyrie Jackson, a giant cornerback out of Oregon. He 6'3".
I think he's 6'4".
That's a huge bitch.
We're back.
He's very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Sounds like you did a pretty good breakdown of him. 6th round tackle, Walter, is it Rouse? Is that how you say it? We're going to go with Walter Rouse from Oklahoma.
That's a huge bitch.
6th rounder, they took kicker Will Reichert from Alabama as well.
Hello.
Hi. 7th rounder, they took a center from Wake Forest named Michael Juergens. Chris, I think you're familiar with his family's company.
Yeah, got great product, very slippery.
Dirty Pop. Hello.
Hi, Randy.
Ooh. And in the 7th round, they took defensive tackle from Texas A&M Commerce, Levi Drake Rodriguez.
His name is Commerce Levi Drake Rodriguez?
No idea.
What? Seriously, what is Texas A&M Commerce?
I don't know. That's how it's listed on the old website.
City, right? Is
I don't
Commerce
know.
a city?
Why wouldn't they just add it to the acronym? Texas A&M and C.
Whoa.
Can you just go to France?
Yeah.
That's how it's listed on the website. Is Texas A&M Commerce the main Texas A&M? I have no idea how that works.
No idea.
There's no chance.
It's gotta be.
There were a lot of people.
How many Texas A&Ms are there?
Well, I mean, it's like a University of Minnesota Duluth, I think.
Right.
Well, there's like
There's a lot
Corpus
of people.
Christi,
Commerce, Texas. Okay.
When that pick happened.
Sure, I got that part.
I thought it was like a economics school.
There were a lot of people when that pick was taken, and a couple of on ESPN were basically like, I don't know who that is. I mean, it was one of those bits.
Well, they didn't know who Ivan Pace was either, did they?
Yeah, they did. I think he wasn't he the
never mind.
college. Wasn't he like the defensive player of the year in his conference?
Yeah, he's the linebacker.
Yeah.
I believe he won the Princess Diana Award for linebackers.
What's that?
I can't tell you. I was going to say something there.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you didn't.
We'll do what really matters after this. I'll do a whole bunch of scores and stats, and Chris will tell you something that's actually interesting and worth listening to, which will be a change for the first 45 minutes of this show. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
Fan.
You're welcome, Saucy. How's your morning show? He's got a brand new quarterback. He was in town, and he said hi. And he wanted to let everybody know that he cares, man. He cares.
Being in the building, first one here, last one to leave, just getting around them and exhausting those relationships and making sure that, I almost bug them too much about wanting to get better and wanting to learn from them because, that's a lot of the regrets that, former players have told me is that they wish they spent more time with their coaches and used those resources to their utmost advantage, and I plan on doing that.
Ben Leber does not feel that way. He's glad he didn't spend much time with Brad Childress.
Oh.
He'll talk about that and much more as he joins us later today to talk about our new quarterback and the rest of our new team as well.
Can't wait.
J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner are on with PA today.
On the phone in studio at TCO? Where's that happening?
Well, I don't know. I think Nordo and PA are at
that would make more sense.
TCO.
Why wouldn't
Okay,
it be?
because if it's here, Zach, your flight's at what, like 4:30?
Yes.
Did I hit the wrong button? Yes, it is.
So your flight's at 4:30? So
yes.
What time you get into the airport?
Probably 1:30.
1:30. So if it's here, though, and J.J. McCarthy is here at 11,
I could make it work.
probably going to stick around.
I'll be here anyway.
What if he's here at 4:30?
Skip the flight to France?
I mean, there's other flights, right?
Touch it.
Wow.
I can go to
Don't say that.
Paris, somewhere else.
Okay, let's do what really
That's what really
matters.
matters,
Scores
right?
and stats around the world of sports. And between Chris will change your life with something else.
Whatever, man.
Twins won 11-5 over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They had 17 hits, 3 each for Jeffers, Miranda, Castro, and Vasquez. Twins have won 7 straight. Take that, Sauce.
Yeah, good for them, man.
Yeah,
They've,
man.
And literally nobody cares.
Well, nobody cares, and they beat 2 of the worst teams in baseball.
Right.
But I'm still
Say that to their face.
But still, that's a big thing, man. 7 straight wins against 2 MLB teams is a good thing, man.
Here's the thing, Sauce. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm a little distracted by my basketball squad right now.
Yeah.
So I'll get back to me in the fall.
Okay.
I mean, the White Sox are bad, but they're not the worst team in baseball.
Right. Yeah.
Baseball in the fall.
I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they play baseball in the fall.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they're the boys of fall, right? Is what they call them, right?
Who's the worst team in baseball?
The Miami Marlins,
Reynolds.
6-23. So
Well, the Astros are down there, too.
the White Sox have won 3 straight. So
Yeah.
they were 3-22 and on pace statistically for the worst record in the history of baseball. But when you're that bad, if you win 3 straight this early in the year, it screws up all the math. And now there's a team actually this year that's worse. Forget historically, the Marlins are 6-23.
It's a clash of the Titans tonight.
There's 4 different teams that have single-digit wins still. That's unbelievable.
Twins up to 14-13. They have won 7 straight. They're at the White Sox, who are terrible, the next 3 nights. What really matters, though, is this.
Lou Bega, the singer of the iconic Cuban song Mambo No. 5, is a German man of Italian and Ugandan descent. His only interaction with Cuba was a vacation to Miami as a teen.
Okay. That song kind of wails.
Yeah. You got to dig it, don't. Right? That song?
That song would not have been as fun with a German accent.
No, it wouldn't.
Mambo No. 9!
That would not have worked.
No.
Mambo, no.
NBA Coach of the Year went to Mark Daigneault, if that's even how you say it, from Oklahoma City.
And there's your Daigneault.
He got 89 of the 100 first place votes. Chris Finch finished third. Just got one. One first place vote.
It's all right.
Whatever. What really matters, though, is this.
French geologist Michael Seffrer, who in 1962 experimented by spending 2 months in a cave without any reference to the passing of time. He eventually settled on a 25-hour day, and he thought it was a month earlier than the date it was when he finally emerged from the cave.
So that's a true darkness retreat.
It wasn't dark in there. It had light.
Right.
He just never left there.
But that is, right, isn't that one of the things with Rudy Gobert and Aaron Rodgers? The darkness retreat, isn't that part of it, right? Is you don't even necessarily, when you wake up from your nap or your overnight sleep, you don't know if it's 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, right? The disorientation is part of it, is you're just supposed to bask in the darkness and lose track of time. Kind of like Las Vegas.
There's a magazine, a GQ magazine article that's in the edition that came out a couple months ago, has the dude from Eastbound and Down on the cover. What's that guy's name?
Kenny Powers is
Kenny
played
Powers
by
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
How did we not come up with that
I don't know.
faster?
So Danny McBride's on the cover. In the magazine, there's a long article written by a guy who went through a darkness retreat for 3 days. And it's fascinating. He breaks it down in depth. At one point, like, the darkness becomes a thing. Like
an entity?
Yeah, like an entity.
Like you can feel it physically?
It's hard to explain the article.
Yeah.
And the thing that your mind goes through. But he did a fantastic job of really trying to convey how scary it was at first, and then how you became just comfortable with it, and your mind began to create things that, like, after a while, he wasn't sure whether or not he was outside or inside anymore. Fascinating, man. Pretty freaky. I would read it if I were you.
Are there any in the state of Minnesota?
There's only a few that are, like, legitimate.
Yeah.
There are people who have them in their houses, but if you want to go to a legitimate one, there's only a few of them in America.
Would you do it?
Not even.
Is the Rudy one in Oregon? Where did he go? Rudy Gobert?
The one that this guy went to was in Oregon. It's the same one that
Rudy or Aaron went to?
Yeah, Aaron went to, yeah.
Did Rudy and Aaron go to the same one?
I don't know.
Rudy?
Man, Rudy couldn't catch the ball last night.
No.
It was dark.
Yeah. No, he had a couple opportunities that they could have won by more, and he just fumbled it out of bounds.
You know what's
Yeah,
strange?
that looked like last year's
Chris,
Rudy.
Yeah,
Chris, you know how, or blonde-haired Rudy.
Oh, yeah.
How are we going to win maybe a title when this season started with blonde Rudy?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we all wish it had never happened.
What's wrong with blonde Rudy?
Chris, you know how you always say, I don't know why people are so impressed with 7-foot guys who can dunk?
Yeah, I never understood that.
If you watch Rudy Gobert, it's fascinating because every time he catches the ball under the hoop, it's almost an instant dunk. But if he catches the ball 5 feet away from the hoop, which is still very close for a 7-footer, it is like him running the eliminator of American Gladiators.
Yeah, he turns into Brucey from The Longest Yard.
100%. He can't catch. His footwork is like, I guess I'm going to spin and throw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
He would just He
just chucked it.
Yeah.
It's like if he doesn't get that instant dunk, it's an absolute adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Last
one of
night was
their
a disaster.
That was one of the problems last year is that they were trying to like kind of force him into the offense, and this year he's just been doing more rim running and
react. Just react.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
Get the rebound and dunk it.
And he plays that role perfect.
And how often does he hold his hand up like, I'm open? And they're like, nah, you're good.
No,
we're going to keep passing it to somebody else.
Even
We're not
when he-
interested.
He's like sauce on the playground. as a kid.
100%.
Correct. Even when he took the ball down and he basically just traveled for like 8 steps.
That was game 3.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, game 3. He
that
crossed half court and just sprinted. And he didn't blow the whistle. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Morning, guys. Who are you guys talking about?
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Very frustrating.
May I retract something real quick?
Of course.
Yeah.
I did read a GQ magazine with that guy on the cover, but the article I read about the Darkness Retreat was in the magazine Outside Magazine. And it was by a guy named Tim Neville. And, it's a fascinating article. It's an incredible article. Ben, you should read this article about this guy doing this Darkness Retreat.
That seems like something you would do.
Yeah,
do a Darkness Retreat.
I'd try it.
Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah, I'd try it. If I had the time. Do we have one here in Minnesota?
That's what we were just asking
we do
when you were
not.
probably in the
I'm
elevator.
guessing
We were
not.
asking the
Yeah.
same thing.
Is it the claustrophobia bit?
We went to a place in Southern Oregon called Sky Cave. That's it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah, with the trampolines.
Brilliant.
Meh.
I don't think it's claustrophobic.
No, I was asking. For Hawk, it would be.
I don't know. I don't think my brain would do. It's like why I don't do hard drugs. I don't think my brain would do well on hard drugs either.
But I think that's interesting, though, Ben, because even if it might not on the surface be claustrophobic, if it is so dark that you can't tell space and time, right? If you have no sense of how big the room is, people like Chris might feel claustrophobic because their mind might create a much smaller room than they're actually in, if that makes sense. I wonder if somebody like Chris would struggle with that, where you don't have sense of space.
I wonder. I mean, I saw the room that Aaron Rodgers was staying in, and it's bigger than you'd think. I mean, there's kind of a lot going on there.
Oh, really?
I'm about to be in a darkness retreat.
Oh,
my eyes are about to burn out from all this gas in here.
Hockey.
Rudy and Aaron Rodgers did go to the same one, by the way.
Same one, okay.
Yeah, same one. You know, also what I want to do, and it's actually here locally that I think would be kind of trippy. You know, they have that room, Hawk, you probably know about
I've been in there, man.
The quietest room in the world.
Yeah, I've been in there.
You've done it?
I have, yeah. It's unbelievable.
I heard it's sort of like
it'll freak you right out.
It'll freak you out.
It messes with your equilibrium. Strangely enough, it really does, man. It's
that
weird,
you can
man.
like really hear like your not just your heartbeat, but like you can hear like the whooshing of the blood in your body.
Yeah,
jeez,
it's a mind blank, dude. It's really something. It's really something. But you have to see it. I think I could probably get you in there if you'd like to see it.
We just did a story on it on Twin Cities Live like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So at the time, I'm like, I need to go do that. Like, I think they're offering like discounted tours now and all that other stuff. Like, you can go in there with groups of like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, and listen to each other's heartbeats.
Yeah.
And then you just fart real loud and blow everybody's ear.
Yeah.
At first, the visions are fun because they seem so real. I blink a dozen times to confirm that the room has indeed become a limestone cave illuminated by beams that shoot from my eyes. And the darkness is no longer monolithic, but swirls with shades of black in a parade of textures. Meanwhile, my proprioceptive senses have gone haywire. I take a bath, and when the water cools, I can see my foot reach up to find the hot water faucet handle. I can't see any detail. My foot just looks like a darker, smoother patch of darkness, but there's no mistaking that I can see my foot. It's incredible, man. This guy goes through, it's like this guy took drugs. It's a fascinating article, Ben.
Yeah, I'll have to read it. It's all online right now?
I'm reading
on Outdoors?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
Tonight in the NBA, the Celtics are at the Heat at 6:30. Boston's up 2-1. At 7:30, the Thunder look to sweep the Pelicans because OKC's up 3 rip. And then the night game is the one that matters for us. Now that the Wolves have moved on to round 2, they await the winner of Lakers Nuggets, but Denver up 3-1. And that game is game 5 is in Denver at 9:00.
We want the Lakers to win. We want this to go longer than it should.
Yeah, and I think they can at least push it one more game. They've led by double digits in every single game in the series this far. It's really frustrating. I'm not a Lakers fan by any means, but it's frustrating to watch them just do the same. I've watched them play the Nuggets the same exact game like 8 times in a row now.
100% correct.
Either way, bring it, right? The Wolves were 2-2 against Denver. We can do this.
Yeah.
We ain't scared.
Yeah.
We want the smoke.
Look, they were dogs in round one against the Suns, and the Suns got swept. The Wolves are going to be dogs against Denver. They just are. That's fine.
Don't matter.
We'll take our chances.
How does Denver, their performance right now, compare to last year when they won it?
I think they're a lot more susceptible to losing. Last year they looked just unstoppable. This year, I don't know. I'm not super impressed. I think that the Wolves specifically match up really well with them. If Denver gets past the Wolves, the Nuggets will go to the finals and more than likely win another NBA championship. But the Wolves specifically match up really well with them.
And it seemed like every time we played them, it was on a back-to-back.
Right. Or we were depleted. Well, I mean, we played them with no Cat, no Nas, I think, one time as well. So, like, it was always on a back-to-back, which is the same thing with the Suns. We played them after a couple back-to-backs. So, the regular season, we saw that. Just throw that out the window. It's 0-0 now.
But what really matters is this.
The city of St. Petersburg, Florida, got its name from a coin toss. If the coin had landed on the other side, it would have been Detroit, Florida.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's interesting.
See?
Detroit being in Florida would have made a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever lost on a coin toss?
Once a city gets big enough, there should be some kind of national rule that you can't name another city in another state that. Right? There shouldn't be multiple Detroits.
Or Paris, Texas.
Right.
Isn't there a Paris, Texas?
Sure, but who cares about other countries?
Isn't there a Centerville in every state? The town of Centerville, I think, is in every state.
And there's probably a Springfield in almost every state as well.
There's a lot of Bloomingtons, I feel like.
I've said this on the air before, but one of my favorite things about where I grew up is there's a town called Russia, Ohio, but everybody hates Russia so much that they called it Rushi. So growing up, I thought the place was spelled way different than it was. And then I found out it was just spelled Russia. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? I've been lied to my whole life. This ain't Rushi.
No, it's not Rushi. It's Russia. Like, what if west of the cities, as the urban sprawl continues and we have more and more little spaces that just pop up, what if in 20 years there's a city 20 miles out of the bubble that's called Las Vegas, Minnesota?
Right.
That shouldn't be allowed.
No, it should not.
Yeah, you should have been to Uzbeki.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, this is Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Chris and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a place, this is true. There was a place called Versailles. Obviously, it's Versailles.
Versailles, sure.
We can't say S.
No. Rushi and Versailles.
Versailles.
And what about Uzbeka? Or are you gonna your hands up?
Can I ask Sauce one question before we get to Zacho?
Yeah.
If we were playing Password, and we're going to in a couple of weeks, if I said Versailles and I was trying to get you to say one word, what word do you think I'm trying to get you to say? If Chris or I are said Versailles, what's the word? What would the password be?
Is it? Come on, is it Paris?
We only have 5 seconds.
Paris?
Zach.
Treaty.
Treaty is exactly the password I was trying to get you to say.
I would not have got that.
Zach, maybe I'll draft you next year.
I don't think I'm eligible.
Yeah. He ain't coming back.
Maybe you're just going to stay in Paris.
Yeah, he is. He's going to stay in Paris.
No, I got to do the video.
Sauce, are we going to practice?
He ain't got to do
In
it
the next 3
That
weeks?
wasn't good practice.
Well, that's next level password. That's the word I would have given to church.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's graduate level stuff right there.
Hang on. This is if the password is treaty. If it's church, I say Versailles. If it's you, I say Dunkaroos.
Yeah, and you say
and you go, give me treaty.
Treaty.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. We got 3 weeks to practice.
We won't
all he
lose.
want?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's 2 words.
4 words.
That's not what?
All he wants is 4? We're going to struggle. We're going to talk to Ben Leber about the NFL draft and much, much more. The Minnesota Timberwolves are moving on to round 2. If you went to bed early last night, they smoked the Suns. They didn't even play that well, and they still beat them. But Ants played unbelievably well in the second half. Wolves get the sweep. They win the series 4 rip. We're back after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
You can see Creed reunite at Treasure Island, rock out to songs like Higher with Arms Wide Open and My Sacrifice when they take the stage with Three Doors Down and Finger 11 on Saturday, August 17th. Additional general admission tickets are available now at ticasino.com. The caller 11 will win their way in with a pair of tickets. 1-800-320-5326 right now. Good luck.
I forgot about this song.
I like that Finger 11. I think that's a Wiener reference, though. Am I right?
It is. Very much so.
Very much so.
Okay.
That's a great tune.
It is?
It is. The 11th
That
Finger.
and one thing.
Oh, I gotcha.
That song was
I gotcha. I thought they were talking about
crossover hit.
The length.
Ooh.
I was like, dang, lucky.
Is this them too?
This song got burnt out, though, right? Because it was a crossover hit. Everybody was playing it for about a year and a half straight.
Man, how great would it be to have a crossover hit? Wait a minute. Let me just say hit.
Oh, Hogsteady.
Or even, how about just a crossover, right? Every station's playing your song. Nobody likes it, but you're on 6 different stations.
Correct.
And I thought it was a sweet vehicle by Plymouth.
There you go.
Or Chrysler. It doesn't matter.
Hey, got the joke. It's a crossover.
I got an opportunity to open for a hero of mine on Friday at a corporate event for the great people at Indian Motorcycle / Polaris. His name is Butch Walker. I played his music for you guys a lot. I love him. Great producer, great artist. Maybe the nicest man I've ever met. One of my favorite nights of my life, Friday night. I played a set. It was so much fun. And then I get to watch this guy do, I mean, like, if Dave Matthews came to town for a corporate event, which is not impossible, they have to pay him $700 million, right?
He has, yeah.
I guarantee you, he wouldn't walk in carrying his own acoustic guitar and go on stage and do a sound check in front of you. And it was like a private concert. And then when he actually played the show, it was incredible. And he stood on the side of the stage and watched my set. It was so cool.
That's a good point. Dude. Imagine Dave Matthews gets booked by Target, right?
Yeah.
They're at Target Center. Exactly. They're at Target Center, and he's the headliner for the big corporate yearly event. And somebody at Target knows you're a big fan, so they call you up and say, Sauce, would you like to do 10 minutes of stand-up before Dave does an acoustic set? And you go on and you do your Target joke, which would be perfect at the Target corporate event.
Idea.
That may be the only joke.
So you do your Target joke in front of the Target crowd at Target Center, and Dave Matthews is on the side of the stage, and he starts nodding his head like, I can't relate to this because I don't shop at Target. Yeah. But that guy seems funny.
You think Dave's a Walmart guy?
No, I just don't think he shops.
Brilliant. No,
right?
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
I don't think Dave Matthews has ever walked into Target for socks and then walked out with Home Alone 2 on Blu-ray.
No, I don't think he has either.
Hello.
I doubt he's seen Home Alone 2.
Man.
Well, he might.
Blu-ray, am I right?
Yeah. A lot of people wasted a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do more of what really matters. But let's put it back to the NFL draft. I know we had a lot of Wolves discussion the rest of the way because they're moving on. They got the sweep. But Ben, we as a show have not talked to you yet since the draft. Let's go back to Thursday night, the first round of the NFL draft. The Vikings got 2 first-rounders. They move up 1 spot from 11 to 10 and take quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. And we fell for that Sean Payton trap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That spinster.
God. What a trap that he set when he has that soundbite over the weekend that it said something like, I was actively acting like we wanted to move forward. And then he smiles. What a douche that guy is.
Ben.
Yeah.
Don't you just think George hates him?
Yes.
You see it on his face, right?
Yes.
They don't like each other.
Hates him.
Yes.
Well, everybody hates Sean Payton. You know what doesn't make sense? Like, let's say you're not going to move up, but let's say I think he's just full of crap anyway, but let's say he truly was trying to play some game of poker with the Vikings and try to get him to move up. Does he know the Jets are in the AFC? So what you did is you had a team in your conference go back a spot and pick up a 4th and 5th rounder. So either way, the Vikings were going to get J.J. McCarthy at 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But now somebody in your conference has 2 more draft picks? What did you win, buddy?
Right.
Where's the win for the Broncos?
Right.
Yeah.
And you took the 6th quarterback.
I don't get it. You took Bo Nix 12th, but you wanted the Vikings to move up to 10.
Yeah.
He got
and
us.
take JJ
he got
at 10,
us.
not 11.
Yeah.
Wow, Sean.
Wow.
Way
to go, butthole eyes.
That's Daniel Negreanu over there playing poker? Oh, it's butthole eyes.
Yeah, it's
My God,
butthole
does he
eyes.
give people named Sean a bad name?
Yeah, he sucks so
Well,
bad.
what I don't understand is you bring up George Payton. He's the GM.
Right.
So why is he taking credit for GM moves?
I don't know. I thought the look on George's face when he's saying it.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
it's all of it's just like, dude, you need such a reality check, such an ego check. Like you're not the GM. This is not your team.
He needs a punch in the throat.
Yeah, he does.
So how did you feel about McCarthy and Dallas Turner, knowing that the rest of this draft, which was no second rounders, no third rounders, and a big chunk of next year's draft are gone because you kind of sold the farm to get these two guys this year? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I feel incredible about it. I mean, we all knew that we weren't going to get Jaden, we weren't going to get Caleb. So it's like you throw those guys out of the window as far as potentials. And McCarthy's right there in the mix for the best available quarterback. No matter what, if we move to 3, 4, 5, it doesn't matter. Like I still think, and I can say this now, I was not a huge Drake May fan.
And we can confirm that you did not, you said that a lot off the air. This is not you doing hindsight 2020.
No,
you specifically told us the last 2 or 3 weeks that you preferred McCarthy over May.
Yeah. You were calling me at 2 a.m. to tell me
You
that.
were kind of saying like, you were kind of quietly like, I hope they don't take Drake May because I'm not a huge fan. Well, they didn't get him.
I know.
I'm sleeping.
My biggest fear personally on draft night was they move up to 3 and they get Drake May. And I'm going to be, yay, we got him.
But not super optimistic.
Yep. I think McCarthy has much more of the it factor, the intangibles. I think that he can give you basically everything that you liked about Drake May. You can get it out of McCarthy as well. So I was more on the of the two in the McCarthy. I talked to you guys and mentioned how much I think Penix has the best chance to be the closest thing to CJ Stroud in year one. So I think that his ability I like a lot more than other people, but I also knew that probably wasn't going to be the case. Like I just didn't see the Vikings going after Michael Penix. So that was just a personal preference. Liked his style, liked the way he plays, love how he can throw the ball down the field, especially in this type of offense. And we can talk on that in a second, but getting McCarthy at number 10, which our biggest fear was, do we have to use 23? And God forbid, do we have to use next year's first to get our quarterback of the future? We didn't have to do any of that.
Any of it. Let's go back to your Twitter. Let's see if you stand by this, Ben. Just shy of 5 days ago, you tweeted Daniel Jeremiah's final mock draft. And in that mock draft, it was J.J. McCarthy going 11th to the Vikings and Chop Robinson going 23rd. And you said this would be an A++ draft for the Vikes. Then, a day and a half after that, Peter Schrager's final mock draft had the Vikings trading up to 7 to get J.J. McCarthy, but holding on to pick 23 and taking cornerback Quinion Mitchell. And you said another NFL Network analyst thinking the Vikings hold on to 2 picks, another A+ scenario for the Vikings. So Daniel Jeremiah, Peter Schrager, before the draft, both say they get their hands on McCarthy. They get an awesome defensive player at 23. They got McCarthy at 10. They got Dallas Turner at 17. You were saying it before the draft. Like, this is almost the dream scenario, and that's what the Vikings ended up getting.
Yeah. You get, in both of those scenarios, you get one of the top edge rushers and you get one of the top corners. And to keep number 23 was huge. In the scenario, and going back to that time when we were like, make the one selection at 10, it's like, holy cow, we get 23. Now, again, selfishly, I want to get the hell out of there. Like,
yeah,
the draft party.
Yeah, the draft party. It was like, hey man, I set myself up for, we're gonna move up, we're gonna get rid of 23, we're gonna get the quarterback, and we're gonna get out. Like, we were gonna be on the air for like maybe an hour and 45 minutes, even after we talked to head coach and GM. And then we kept 23. I'm like, I'm in here for the long haul. But I got to give golf claps to Paul Meat Sauce Lambert, our draft guru over here. 3 months ago, he was like, here's a guy that we need to pay attention to, and I bet you the Vikings will go after Dallas Turner. And that was before anybody else. That was before anybody else I heard anybody mention Dallas Turner at all. And that was obviously before Kirk Cousins was jettisoned to the Falcons and all this other stuff. And we were in line to get the best available defensive player in the draft. Sauce said it, 3-4 months ago, and it comes to fruition. Maybe not in the scenario that he was talking about, but we get not even arguably, a top 10 player in the draft, and he falls to us. And yes, we trade up from 23, but we get a top 10 defensive player and the quarterback, hopefully, of our future. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. If you guys, and I'm sure, Sauce, you can probably weigh in on this too. The CBS app, okay, that was to me, they do a great job of the whole draft tracker. So it's
they do.
It's what I was using.
The best one.
It's what I was using the whole time. It's simple. It's great. It's very easy to use. They gave the draft grades. They gave the Falcons pick with Michael Penix a B-. They gave J.J. McCarthy's selection us at 10 a C+.
That don't make no sense.
What in the F is going on over there at CBS Sports? People did not like our draft.
I don't understand it.
I do not get it. And they're not the only one that gave us basically a B or B- for our first round draft. I'm like, what are we smoking here?
Kuiper gave him a C-.
What are we missing? Why?
I think the people outside of the massive Vikings fans that we are mad of how much they gave up to get Dallas Turner, because if it includes the Houston pick and all that they gave up a ton to get him. But if Atlanta does what they're supposed to do, he's the 8th overall pick. When he was drafted, the NFL Network coverage, Daniel Jeremiah goes, "Oh, wasn't he picked?" He had to go all the way back up his board and realize that, oh wait, Dallas Turner wasn't taken. That's what I think it is. I think they wanted more quantity, and the Vikings got more quantity. The 2 picks they got, it's the same playbook that Houston did last year. I mean, different picks.
Yeah, different.
They didn't have 2 and 3, but they took a quarterback, and then they took this defensive end who could be an absolute monster. The first 2 picks and the 3rd pick, Kyrie Jackson is a missile.
Let me ask you about him.
He's so good.
Let me ask you about him. That's a big dude, right? That's a cornerback out of Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Every highlight reel I've seen of him is him just destroying people. Not much coverage on that highlight reel, but as a defensive player, that's a big dude for a corner. Do you know anything about this kid?
6'4". 6'4".
Yeah.
So why a 4th rounder if he's crushing everybody?
See, that's the thing. I don't know.
He's 25, I think. That's
he had a couple stints at 2 different junior colleges, I think, and then transferred. He was Alabama, then Bama, then Oregon. He had some. He had some situations in his life where he didn't even know if he was going to play football. All that stuff. It's a fantastic story. Look, I don't know. I mean, it's something about these guys. They just fall. I mean, he was a 2nd round grade, and we got him in the 4th round.
And he runs a 4.5 40 at 6'4".
Yeah,
that's a big dude, man.
Yeah, and that is sort of, I think, the metric that you mentioned. It's impressive for his size. But it's sort of like Richard Sherman. When Richard Sherman was coming out, you've got a big, tall corner, doesn't run the best, not the fastest guy. So a lot of people are like, oh, the outside corner, what are we going to do here? Like, he lacks sort of that top end speed, and you got to have that in the league. And Richard Sherman had one hell of a career. So I think it's been proven that you don't have to run 4.4 or 4.4 to be a great corner in the league.
Yeah.
But he does lack probably that top end speed, that go ball speed. Maybe the recovery speed is going to lack a little bit. But look, if you're looking for a big, strong physical corner that has a short area quickness and is not afraid to tackle, and you hope that your defense is built off of pressure on the quarterback, well, let's hope that he doesn't have to use, that lack of recovery speed and that go ball speed a lot, because the idea for our defense is to get after the quarterback and the ball's coming out quick.
He looks like a safety to me.
Yeah, he's big.
He's a big dude, man.
It's sort of like looking at J-Ron Curse when we drafted him. Like, that's a corner.
Oh, I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's shined with Dallas, man.
Yeah, and J-Ron's doing great in Dallas. Yeah, he's been really good.
How do you feel about taking a kicker in round 6?
I like it. I mean, you get the number 1 point scorer in Alabama history at freaking Alabama.
Well, 2nd behind Gump.
Yeah.
They left that part out.
And, oh, by the way, we don't have a kicker.
Yeah, the XFL guy.
Well, there is
Hawks guy. They had Hawk.
His name is Dune Shredder.
Oh.
Yeah, so we get hopefully the kicker. hopefully they have more patience than they did with Daniel Carlson. But
Shredder.
That was his second choice between Dune, Shredder, and Star Wars Krang.
Yeah, brilliant Krang reference.
Yeah, so I walked away from the draft just thinking that again, back to what you said, it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Who cares if we have 11 picks in the draft? It's nice. I mean, your probability of these guys hitting is a little higher, but to me, it seems like we actually sniped this draft, for what we had. And we looked, and the thing is, we talked to Kwesi about it on Thursday night. He's like, when we look at the draft, it's a 2-year plan. So knowing what we have next year in free agency as far as cap spend, that absolutely plays a part in what we're doing today, knowing how we can still build this roster with free agencies next year.
Compensatory picks
and all this other stuff.
Trades,
so they're looking at the totality of not just this draft, but next year's draft and free agency. And so I thought they're looking at the right way, and they played it beautifully.
I think people also forget the probability of 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounders. If you were watching the draft, when they got to round 5, ESPN would be like, here's a whole bunch of notable 5th rounders, and they'd show Stephon Diggs and Kevin Green, and then they would show pictures. It's like, here's 6 guys from the last 40 years who were good. And you're like, 6 guys? You know what I mean? So they're showing you it can happen, but almost always you're just crossing your fingers for depth.
Yeah.
Right? The stars are rare. Depth is what you're looking for. So I don't give a rat's ass about 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th if you can get A-listers that produce. If you miss on McCarthy and Turner, the draft's going to be a waste of time anyway.
Well, if I may, I know we're going to break, but can I play you this soundbite that Kwesi talks about that exact thing?
Yeah.
I thought this was
the
kind
quality over quantity bit, or what?
And about you need good players that are average. Do you know what I mean? Like the middle of your roster, they have to be a little bit better than everybody else's middle of their roster. Well, I'll let him explain.
There is no perfect player. And it's really trying to get people to understand just because a player's not perfect doesn't mean he can't be good or average. And, that's how you win in the league. Obviously, you need your great players, but you need your adequate players, your numbers 30 through 45 to be just marginally better than everybody else's. And that comes from a mindset. That comes from a lot of different things. So really, it's just breeding that mindset in the organization. And they've had it before, but it's doing it in the way that, we do it now. It's just really been taking hold.
Yeah, it might be a bad example, but look at the Wolves and the Suns, right? They have a big 3. We have a big 3. Our second tier is significantly better than their second tier.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I kind of like that, though, that mentality out of Kwesi. I don't know. Had a good weekend. He's got the hot seat, so let's see if this one works. I think a lot of people's opinion of him can change in 1 year. If he hits this out of the park.
I think that he absolutely has every right to be peacocking around that building right now.
Now it's got to work, though. The news is next with Chris Hockey on the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.